Hey guys, I'm Dr. Tom Dawson, and I'm a pediatrician who normally spends a lot of his time trying to keep his parents off of the internet as much as possible. Because the internet is a place that makes parenting really miserable. But since you guys are already here, I'd at least like to have a trustworthy place that you can go to get information. So let's see if we can make raising your kids a little easier. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about toilet training, potty training. Back in the dark ages when I first started, we started way too early. We'd start trying on children when they were 12 to 18 months, and we caused a ton of problems and screwed up a lot of kiddos. By the time they were 7, they were wet in the bed and they were pooping in their pants, and it was just too early. I would compare it to if you were going to perform a piano piece at a piano recital and you weren't ready to perform it yet. Going to that recital and performing in front of your parents and your grandparents with the potential to disappoint the whole crowd, that would be a lifetime scarring event. And it's kind of that way with toilet training. If you're ready, it's relatively easy. But if you're not ready yet, it's going to be very stressful with a lot of chances of disappointing your parents. So now I almost never start potty training until they're 2 years old. And a lot of boys, it'll be 2.5 to 3 before they're actually ready to be toilet trained. The main thing is that your child needs to have 3 things. 1, they need to know when they're wet. 2, they need to care when they're wet. And 3, they need to be able to hold it long enough to do something about it. And so when they have those 3 things, then they'll be ready. And just like some children walk when they're 8 months and some don't walk until they're 18 months, not all children are going to be ready to be toilet trained the same week, even though the nice lady at preschool would like for them to. So we just need to wait until your child's ready. Once they are ready, then the question is, how do we go about toilet training them? I will tell you that the first 5 years in my practice, I did all the books and videos, and I had thousands of problems. It just was terrible. We were talking about it all the time. The nice thing that happened during those 5 years was that a lot of those children grew older and started having little brothers and sisters, and all the little brothers and sisters just trained themselves, no problems at all. So it turned out the problem in toilet training was not the children. They did it fine. It was the mom and the dad and the doctors that were causing all the troubles. That's when I realized we got to get those folks out of the program. And that's actually when I started my Readiness program. And the way that works is you find some guy up the street that they totally idolize, and hopefully it's third child when mother doesn't care anymore, and you can go rent that child for a week, and that guy will teach your little boy how to toilet train. Yes, your little boy wants to be like dad someday, but that's a long way away, and there's a lot of things that dad can do that he can't do, and that dad's not afraid of, that he's afraid of. Whereas that little boy down the street, he wants to be like that guy tomorrow. So those of you who are doubters, I can guarantee you if that same guy off the street is going to teach your child how to smoke when he's 12, and you don't have to get involved in that situation at all. Every child in my practice can smoke. So find that child, let them do it. I went from having thousands of problems to 0, so I'm never going back. It turns out that parents are not too good at teaching 3 things: peeing, smoking, and swimming. So we can get that guy up the street to take care of the peeing and the smoking, find somebody else that maybe a little older, more mature to teach them swimming, and then those 3 areas will be taken care of. There's 2 other side notes that I want to mention today. One is that pooping and when being able to control when and where they poop may not coincide with when they're trained for urine. Sometimes it can be a year or so later. And I'll have a lot of children that they'll be wearing big boy underwear all day, but that they'll need to come up to you sometime during the day, ask you to put on a diaper, and then go squat and hide behind their favorite chair in the den to take care of their business. And that's fine with me. If they're doing that for a year or so after they've been trained for urine, that's totally fine. The other thing to keep in mind is that there's 10% of children that are still not dry at night when they're 6 years old. So there may be a long period of time from the time they're trained during the daytime till the time they're trained at night. I find that the later ones, usually that's a genetic thing. Usually there'll be a mom or dad that was also sort of a late nighttime wetter, but that's totally fine. And so I don't worry about that at all in children under the age of 6. So the main take-home message is, when I did all the books and videos, thousands of problems. When I went to the Readiness program, 0. So I'm never going back. You decide what's best for you. I hope that helps.